Hey guys, this is Kevin from Wrestling Rambles 89. Be sure to subscribe for more WWE and pro wrestling news and information. Over the years, Stone Cold Steve Austin has opened up countless cans of whoop ass, stomping mud holes in opponents and walking them dry, and capping things off with his classic Stone Cold Stunner. Austin has hit so many stunners on everyone, from the likes of jobbers to Hall of Famers, and even to current US President Donald Trump. This list though is the top 5 best Stone Cold Stunners of all time, as voted for by WWE fans in the past. Number 5 on the list, Austin stuns the Alliance. Monday Night Raw, July 16, 2001. In a classic moment during the ECW/WCW Invasion storyline, there was a massive brawl between WWE and ECW/WCW stars. The WCW and ECW wrestlers had seemingly trapped in and outnumbered the WWE roster, both backstage and in the ring. Though WWE stars like Kane, The Undertaker, Chris Jericho, and many others fought their hardest for the WWE team, the huge team of outsiders had the strength in numbers, and Team WWE were being beaten down. Cue, pun intended, Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Texas Rattlesnake suddenly arrived at the arena in his black pickup truck and promptly cut a path of destruction backstage, beating down the invading WCW and ECW stars with a pool cue he brought with him from the bar he was at previously. The fans erupted once Austin finally made his way down to the ring, where he turned the tide immediately, hitting people with the cue before delivering 6 consecutive Stone Cold Stunners en route to clearing the ring. This was undoubtedly a classic moment of the era, and is well worth watching again even today. Number 4 on the list, Stone Cold Stunners Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. In what should have been a classic clash of the titans at WrestleMania, Goldberg vs Brock Lesnar was marred from the start by the fact fans knew that both wrestlers were already about to walk out on the WWE, leading them to boo both men out of the ring. Trying to remedy the situation a little, WWE made Stone Cold Steve Austin the special guest referee for the match. After the letdown that the match turned out to be, Austin seemed to agree with the Madison Square Garden crowd's vocal rejection of both Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Austin finally had enough and stunnered the disrespectful Brock Lesnar right out of the WWE ring, according to WWE Hall of Famer Jim Ross. Austin then turned his attention to Goldberg, who was no more popular than Lesnar was in the eyes of the fans. Austin first shared a beer with Goldberg, disappointing fans at first, but after Goldberg tried his hand at copying Austin's corner pose with the beer, Stone Cold had no choice but to hit the WCW legend with a hellacious stunner of his own. Number 3 on the list, Austin stuns Santa Claus. And a somewhat unusual choice by fans, number 3 on the list involves the time that Austin hit the stunner on none other than Santa Claus. Stone Cold always lived by the motto, DTA, don't trust anybody, and had his suspicions about a Santa Claus who suddenly showed up on Raw in December 97. The so-called Saint Nick claimed he was the real deal, but WWE fans weren't buying it, especially after he kicked a child out of the ring for questioning him on his legitimacy. Austin made his way down to the ring to the applause of the fans and asked the so-called Santa what he had requested as a 6-year-old boy at Christmas many years before. Santa of course had no idea, and guessed Austin had requested a Barbie doll and some tiddlywinks. That answer was not what Austin wanted to hear, so he asked the fans in attendance for their opinion, saying, "If he's not the real Santa Claus, give me a hell no." The crowd immediately gave a resounding "Oh hell no," leaving Austin no choice but to hit the stunner on the imposter. Number 2 on the list, Austin stuns The Rock, WrestleMania 15. Let's face it, The Rock was not only Stone Cold's biggest rival in WWE, but was also arguably unmatched in terms of how he sold being hit by the Stone Cold Stunner. Any number of stunners on the People's Champion could have made the list, but this was undoubtedly a big moment in WWE history. Given the circumstances, there was something special in the eyes of fans seeing the way Stone Cold Steve Austin dropped The Rock at this WrestleMania in 99, this being the stunner that earned Austin his 3rd WWF Championship. The Rock and Austin had a classic trio of WrestleMania matches, but the visual of the stunner launching The Rock head over feet into the ropes before the pinfall was enough to earn fans' attention. Number 1 on the list, Stone Cold stuns Mr. McMahon. No list would be complete without mentioning the very first, and the most infamous, Stone Cold stunner of all time. Like a crappie on a bass boat is how Austin described the selling of the shaken Mr. McMahon on a recent episode of his podcast. That was the first time the WWE chairman had felt the force of a Stone Cold stunner, but it certainly wasn't the last. It was perhaps the single most important part in the epic Austin-McMahon rivalry. With the stunner, it took place in what is considered to be WWE's home arena, Madison Square Garden. The fans had been hoping for months to see Austin, the anti-hero, stick it to the obnoxious Vince McMahon. By taking out McMahon with his legendary stunner, Stone Cold cemented his status as a fan favorite, the everyman, with fans delighted that through Austin, they could once again realize the fact that fans who were disgruntled with their own boss were then able to live vicariously through their new hero. So there we have the top 5 list of the best stunners of all time according to WWE fans. Personally, there are definitely some I don't feel belong on the list, such as the Santa Claus stunner, but ones like The Rock or the first stunner on Vince McMahon are obvious choices. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this look at the top 5 Stone Cold stunners of all time just as much as I enjoyed making this video. And thank you to all the people who liked and supported my previous top 5 video. I definitely hope to do more of these videos in the future. This is Wrestling Rambles 89, signing off.